Hi everyone, thank you for coming back to my channel. I'm Stephanie if you're new here. For today's video, I'm going to go over our meal plan for the month of July. So we are already on July 9th. So we're going to skip over some days. I'm just going to give you a general idea of what we're going to be cooking throughout the month. We have a birthday coming up. We also have like a graduation party coming up. So I'm going to need meals and stuff for that. That is mainly going to be whatever she needs me to bring. So I don't have that on the menu, but that's going to be just whatever. It might be taco dip or something like that. But I'm not going to add that. So that's going to be part of what I need to buy for groceries this month. So that's all planned out already. I wanted to go over some of it in my grocery haul. I did kind of go over what we're going to do for like breakfast and lunch and dinner in that video. We're going to do it again today. A lot of you guys wanted me to do it in a separate video because I think my grocery hauls are mainly focused on what we're getting for groceries. And then I can break it down a little bit better for you guys for a meal plan. Last month when I did my grocery haul, I went over some of the things that we were going to make for meals. I do have people that are interested in the meals that we're actually making and showing you guys what we're doing. I haven't got that far yet for me to be able to figure that out for videos yet. So that's going to be in another video. When it comes to our meals and stuff at home, a lot of times when it comes to supper, we all sit together, but our days are kind of crazy. So getting meals together and sharing that with you guys can make it a little difficult, but maybe in the future I can share some of our videos, our meal videos with you guys. Today is just going to go over some of the stuff that I kind of figured out lately with how to plan my grocery hauls, how to make it a little bit easier throughout the month when it comes to some of the ways that I share with you guys. Usually when I started doing grocery hauls, I started out doing the once a month grocery hauls, and then I kind of would tie in some random ones. But lately I've been just doing the once a month ones, and then last month I did a couple of weekly ones, and it seemed like you guys like them too. So we're going to do a bunch of them. So we're going to do our once a month, and then I'm going to also do my weekly, bi-weekly, just because we like to have all our bulk food in the beginning of the month, and then throughout the month we still have to buy food. So we're going to go over that. I'm going to turn you guys around. I'm going to share my little meal plan with you guys, some recipes, and then hopefully that helps with quick meals and stuff for you guys. Breakfast is going to be stuff that the kids like to make, or if they want me to make stuff. So basically it's going to be toaster strudels, eggs, so any form of egg. We have scrambled eggs, omelets, fried eggs. What else do we do? I think that's it, right? Cereal, hash browns, biscuits and gravy, cinnamon rolls. I will make cinnamon rolls out of sourdough bread once in a while. Biscuits and gravy, we've been making it with the Jimmy Dean sausage. I have my own sausage because we raise pigs also, but I haven't gotten the seasoning right yet to how we like it yet, so I'm still trying to figure that out. Otherwise we have a lot of sausage. Homemade yogurt, or yogurt like store yogurt with wheat germ, the kids will add to it. Smoothies the kids will make, and then waffles, either frozen or homemade. My kids like to make breakfast wraps, and then omelets. I'll get up and make omelets. If my kids don't want me to make stuff for breakfast, or they don't ask, then a lot of times they're on their own, and they make what they like because they like to cook. So a lot of my kids will cook, and they like to make their own food now. But my little ones, if they're not able to make something, then I get up and make their breakfast. So for our lunches, we make chicken patties. We'll have buns with the chicken patties or fruit. A lot of our stuff, if I'm not saying fruit, I'll put some fruit in front of the kids. Strawberries, blueberries, blackberries. We have apples all the time, bananas all the time. So that is always available for the kids anytime that they want it. Chicken wraps. For the chicken wraps, it's mainly going to be our like chicken fingers, chicken tenders. I've been getting chicken rotisserie chicken, and Eli's been making sandwiches with that. We'll have sausage, cheese, and crackers. And then quesadillas we'll make up, some pizza. Air fryer meals are very easy for me. If you guys have missed out on any of my older air fryer videos, I have a whole playlist. I also have a recipe book, like an ebook. If you guys put your email in, you can download it, and it also comes with videos of my older videos to go along with the recipe. That is all free as long as you do an email sign up, and you guys can go check that out. But yeah, we like to have some air fryer meals, and that's just a lot of stuff that you can just make in your air fryer. It doesn't have to be frozen stuff. It can be homemade stuff too. Hot dogs, fruit, chili dogs, Hawaiian rolls, and Philly steak is going to be for this month. That's going to be with some honey mustard. You could add Dijon mustard, provolone cheese, Swiss cheese, anything on top of that. Salad bag, that's just a bag, just like a salad bag from the store. We can have that for a lunch with whatever else that we have with that. Mac and cheese, homemade or box. Sourdough bread, the kids turn it into garlic bread. They add some sauce and some jalapenos and cheese, and then put that in the air fryer. Baked chicken wraps. That is going to be a recipe I'm going to share with you in just a minute. And then I have this Greek protein bowl that I'm going to share with you in a minute. For supper, we're going to be making chicken and gravy with rice. I'll leave the recipe for that. Beef fajitas, that also will have a recipe. Meatloaf, that I have a recipe for that. The fuchsia, I think it's called, the Asian stir fry, that was from Aldi. And then the chicken, I'm going to tell you how to make that. The baked chicken is going to be the same as this chicken. And then the sirloin dinner, the sirloin is just going to be sirloin. I cook that in skillets. And then that's with dinner rolls and a salad. And sloppy joes will be this month. And then Southwest chicken, which that changed to a different one that I got off of Aldi. And I'll share like a little picture down below. All right, for the Greek protein bowl that I'm going to be making, I'll go through the recipe with you guys, and then I'll also make it. This one is 1 baby cucumber. I'm just going to use a regular cucumber. This is going to be a red pepper and a green pepper. 1 slice of red onion, so you just need a little bit of that. A diced banana peppers. If you don't want that, you don't need to add that to this. 1 serving of cottage cheese, 1 serving of feta, and then 1 serving of Greek dressing. I'm also going to be adding some chickpeas to this and then some black beans to this. You can eat this with little nan dippers. I get these at Walmart. You also can get wraps like this and then just eat it with that. You can also eat it just the way it is, or add some crackers or whatever with it. I'm going to be making this chicken baked wraps. This is just going, it's not even a wrap, it's actually crust. It's going to be an option that you can use instead of making like pizza crust. So you're going to take 1 can of chicken, 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, 1 egg, salt and pepper. You're going to mix it together, and you're going to flatten it out on parchment paper. You can either cook it at 400 degrees for 40 minutes, or which I don't know. I had 2 different temps when it came to this and time, which doesn't make sense, but we went with the 375 for 30 minutes and it turned out fine. And then if you add any toppings to it, you're going to cook it for additional like 10-15 minutes. So I'm going to be making a recipe with you guys today. So this one is going to be the chicken bake crust. We're going to make it like this. We're going to make the crust, and then we're going to add some toppings. In this Korean style barbecue sauce to it, and then the tofu, some onions, and some cheese. And then we're going to pop it in the oven for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to eat it that way. So breakfast, lunch. Okay, for supper, for meatloaf, what I like to do is I do 3 pounds of hamburger, 1 whole sleeve of Ritz crackers, 3 eggs, 2 to 3 eggs. I keep it pretty simple. We add a package of onion soup mix. If you guys make your own onion soup mix, just add that or your seasonings to it. And then we bake that at 400 degrees for like an hour. And then you can add ketchup or whatever you want on top. That's going to be for the meatloaf. For the Asian stir fry, I just got a bag from Aldi. And then we are going to be making this baked chicken. So for the baked chicken, we're gonna go over that in today's video. I'm gonna show you how to make it. It turns out great every single time, and you can make different flavors if you would like. For the sirloin, we also are going to be making that for today's video. I have another way of making it, and it's been turning out great. For our sloppy joes, I usually just use sloppy joe mix. For that, it's just package with some tomato paste, and we make it up that way. So for sloppy joes for our family, I would probably do around 3 pounds also for that. And then the Southwest chicken ended up being some kind of garlic and herb, I think, chicken from Aldi. We're gonna also make that up for one of the meals. For the beef fajitas, this recipe I got off of Aldi, and I will leave that down below. I probably won't be making that in today's video, and if I do, I'll add it, but I'll leave the recipe down below. And then the chicken and gravy, I also will leave. I think I have it in here. I might even have my, let's see, this is all like freezer meals, so that's part of that. I'm just not going to do it that way. So I would add 5 boneless chicken breasts to the crock pot. You can add more if you need more or less. 2 cans of the cream chicken soup. I might even just add 1. And then a package of the chicken and gravy and chicken broth. And then just add that to your crock pot. This is just basically what we're going to follow this month. If there's something new that I find, we'll add it to this. But this is mainly it that I wanted to share with you guys. All right, so we're going to start out with the first recipe, and that is going to be 1 can of chicken. I'm going to add 2 because I'm going to be doubling the recipe. So you can just add 1 can of chicken. I don't remember the size of the can that I'm using, but just 1 can, and I'm adding a bunch of eggs to it, but you can add 1 or 2 eggs to the 1 can. And then we're going to be adding, I think it's 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. You can use any kind of cheese actually if you want. This is just mainly for a high protein like crust instead of using regular pizza crust. Then I added some salt and pepper. I also added some garlic salt and then some, I think it was Italian seasoning or something like that to the crust. But you can add any kind of seasoning that you would like to it. It's not, that part isn't really important. So you can add whatever you would like to that. And then you're going to mix it up and mix it together quick. We are going to add it to a parchment lined pan. Just easier for cleanup. And then all you need to do is just kind of flatten it out like a thin layer on your pan. So because I doubled my recipe, it's going to fit mainly through the whole pan, but otherwise you can use a smaller pan or just make it into like a circle on your pan, and that'll work out just fine. So I'm going to go ahead quick and just put it on the parchment paper and flatten it out, and then we're going to come back. So I ended up setting my oven for 400 degrees, and then we're going to cook it for 30 minutes. So you can play around with the temperature and then how long you want it to put it in there. If you're going to be adding a bunch of toppings, you could probably cook the crust a little bit shorter in time, just so that you don't overcook it while you have the toppings on top. I know the toppings that I'm going to be adding isn't going to take that long, so I'm just going to go with the 30 minutes, take it out, and then we're going to cook it for another like 10 minutes. So for this one, we are just going to be adding pizza sauce, and then I had some ground hamburger that I had from Aldi, so we're going to be adding that to this crust. And then I have another one that I'm going to be making later, I'll share with you. And then we just add some mozzarella cheese. So you can add any toppings to this, and you can keep it to any way that you really want to do it. You can add some vegetables and stuff, mushrooms, onions, peppers, whatever you would like. I'm just mainly giving you a different idea on how to make a different kind of crust. All right, so this is what it ended up looking like. Okay, so we're gonna move on to making the Philly steak dippers or bites, whatever you want to call them. We are going to be using the Philly steak stuff that I usually get from Walmart, and it's usually in the Great Value brand, and it comes in like 4 pieces. So I think I'm going to be using 4 packages for this, but you don't have to use that much. We're just gonna use as much as we have, and then whatever I'm not using, I'm gonna put off to the side, and then the kids can just make some sandwiches and stuff with the leftover meat. All right, so usually what I add to this is either honey mustard or Dijon mustard, and then some soy sauce, salt, and pepper. You can use whatever you want to make these sandwiches. We are going to be using the Hawaiian rolls today, so I didn't want to make it extra sweet on top of the Hawaiian rolls. So I think I ended up using just the Dijon mustard, and then I ended up using the Dijon mustard on the rolls also, just to line it. But you can add mayo or Miracle Whip or anything like that to the sandwiches, or you can add just butter if you would like to. I'm just giving you an idea of what we do to make these sandwiches. So the pans that I'm going to be using in today's video is from Time & Table from Walmart. I have mentioned them before, and I will list the product down below if you guys are interested in checking out any of the Time & Table stuff. We use a lot of their knives, cutting boards, and bowls and stuff from Walmart. We love it, and the price is pretty reasonable. So with this, it fit perfectly on this tray, and it just made everything easier to put this together. So I ended up just adding provolone cheese to half of the dinner rolls just because I didn't know if some of the kids didn't want cheese on some of theirs. So I only did half of it, and you can add any kind of cheese that you would like. You can add shredded cheese or no cheese, and just like put these together with whatever you have on hand already. And then you just need to add the rest of the dinner rolls to the top, and we're going to be putting some butter on top, and then we're just going to place these in the oven. I don't remember what I put the temp on. I think like 375 for about maybe like 10 minutes, and they turned out great. All right, so we're going to move on to making the fajitas. So all I ended up doing is just cutting up a red pepper and a green pepper and adding that to the fajita meat that I got at Aldi. They ended up substituting a part of my package that I was supposed to just get the regular fajita meat, and I ended up getting 2 different packages. So we're just going to go with it and cook it the way that I'm going to do it. So we're going to mix both of what I got together. I also am going to be adding a package of fajita seasoning to this, and then I'm just gonna add the vegetables, and that is pretty much it. I'm going to cook it, and then we're going to be adding some cilantro and adding it to some wraps and adding some cheese, and that is pretty much it for the fajita recipe. All right, so we're gonna move on to the sirloin recipe. What I do for this recipe is I add my skillets into the oven. I think I set it for like 400 degrees and I get that nice and hot. And then I lay out my sirloin on just like a regular pan and I season it. So I usually just add salt and pepper. This recipe, I ended up just adding this butter seasoning, butter and garlic, I think it is, and it's amazing. So sometimes I will switch it up a little bit, but mainly it's just salt and pepper. And that's pretty much it. And then I will add some butter to our skillet and add the sirloin to that. And then I cook them about 5 or so minutes on both sides and they turn out perfect. And then after I add some butter on top, I let them sit for a little bit before we cut into them. So I would say we cook them rare, medium to medium, and that's just how we like it. All right, so this is a new recipe for me. We are going to be cutting up a whole head of cabbage, and you're just going to cut it into slices. You don't have to have it doesn't have to be perfect. So you just want to cut it up quick, and then you're going to put it on a greased pan. I just use cooking spray, and what I like to do is just layer it on the pan. And we're going to be adding some seasoning, salt, and some pepperonis on top. And we're going to cook this for about, I think it's like 400 degrees for about 30 minutes. All right, we're gonna start out with some of the meal prepping that we're going to be doing for tonight. So tonight, I need to have meatloaf done. And it's around 2 o'clock, so I'm just gonna at least get it started so that when the kids have to go where they need to go, I have it all done. So we're gonna make that quick, and then we are going to make a protein or Greek protein bowl. And that I'm gonna put in the fridge so I have it for tomorrow. And then we are going to take some chicken and get that ready for either putting it in the freezer because I have 2 big things of chicken. I need to cut the chicken in half and then I need to season them. I have a couple other meals that I want to share on here but I need that done first so that I can add that to this stir fry that we're gonna be making that I got at Aldi. So I'm taking a stir fry pack and I'm going to add it to the chicken that I'm gonna make. So I found an easy way of making chicken now. I was just putting it in the air fryer. That works really well too. But now I've been using the oven and just making big sheets of this one kind of chicken. And it's about 25 minutes or so to make this chicken. So it's really, really easy. But we're gonna do the meatloaf first for tonight so that I can get it in the oven. So I thought I got more of this, but I must not. I don't even know if I have enough, but I'll have to, maybe I got some the other day. I'll be using Aldi's, the hamburger from Aldi. It's the organic, Simply Nature. I've been just using this brand lately and then getting some from Meijer because Meijer has good sales too on their hamburger. So I need 3 pounds of this. So I'm only going to make 1 meatloaf for tonight. But let me know what you guys do when it comes to meatloaf. Like how many pounds of hamburger do you guys use? And then if you guys have a recipe or anything that you want to share with me. Mine is pretty easy, I think, to the most part. Add your hamburger. I just use a regular onion soup mix. You can add whatever seasoning you want, but I'm just gonna make it easy for tonight. And then I add 2 eggs to that. And then I use a whole sleeve of Ritz crackers and I just crunch it up. My sister makes it this way, so this is how I know. I know some people will use breadcrumbs or other crackers, saltines. This seems to be good. And I usually cook it in the oven at 400 for about an hour. And that seems to be good. So mix it up a little bit. And then I add just a little bit of milk to that. I don't add any like ketchup or anything like this until later. So I'm gonna mix this up and then we're gonna put it in the pan. I do add a pan to the bottom of this just so it doesn't like grease over in the oven. All right, so that's what that looks like. So we are gonna put this in the oven for about an hour and then I'll show you what it looks like after. All right, so now we're gonna move on to prepping our chicken while my meatloaf is in the oven. This way I have all my chicken cut up for the rest of the month. I'm going to probably freeze it. So I'm gonna season it and then probably freeze it, and then when I need to use it, just thaw it out and cook it when I need to. So that's what we're gonna do. And I've been getting it at, I think, either Meyer or Aldi. I can't remember. Okay, so I'm gonna skip ahead here quick. I'm just gonna clean the chicken up a little bit and then cut it in half, and then we'll talk after. So I have all my chicken cut up. I'm just gonna do a couple different seasonings. So I have this butter garlic, and that we've been using a lot lately. So we really like that one. Salt and pepper, onion powder, garlic salt, and paprika. That's it. So you can season it whatever way you want. We're just gonna use what I have, and then we're gonna pack it up. So you can season both sides if you want to. I'm not going to. I just season the one, just make it easy, and then I usually just put it in the oven. When you add this to the oven, you're gonna set your oven to 400 degrees and then just cook it for 25 minutes. You can add some olive oil and stuff on top. That I'm not gonna do right now, but you can do that when you put it in the oven. And like I said, you can season it on the other side if you want to, but we're gonna pack this up so that I have it in the fridge. So I'm gonna put some in the fridge, some in the freezer, so this will be for the rest of the month. for this next recipe, we're going to be making the Greek power bowl. And for this recipe, you can add whatever you want or take away from whatever I'm adding to this. I ended up adding black beans and chickpeas, which were not part of the recipe, but I wanted to add that. And then also we added some banana peppers, a green pepper, red pepper, cilantro, and then some onion. And we're going to be adding some cottage cheese and then feta and the Greek dressing. So you just cut up everything. I'll leave this recipe down below. I also added it to the beginning of the video. So if you want to go back to the beginning of the video, it's all written down on a piece of paper. If you want to screenshot it, that might be easier. And then you guys can make this. It is so good. And then I usually eat it with some multi-grain like chips from Aldi, or I will eat it with some naan dippers, or we'll add it to wraps, or just have it plain the way it is. It is so good. You could add some lime to this. You could also add some salt and pepper. You can do anything you want with this recipe. It's really, really easy to like add and take away from. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of cut everything up and add everything to my bowl. And that's going to be something that I'm going to be eating for the next couple days. All right, for this next recipe, we are going to be doing the same thing that we did in the beginning of the video with making the chicken crust or chicken Parmesan crust. So I am going to be adding feta to one side, feta, and then the Korean sauce on the one side, pizza sauce on the other side with some mozzarella. And just because some of the kids are going to have the other side, and I wanted to eat the side with the tofu and the Korean sauce. Tofu and the Korean sauce, it was amazing. I did forget to add onions to it though, but next time I'll probably add some onions. All right, so I'm going to finish up here and then I'll show you what it looks like. All right, for the rest of the meals that I'm going to be making and prepping for is going to be our chicken. So the chicken that I cut originally, we're going to be making it for one of the meals tonight. So what I like to do is just line my pan with some foil. I spray it with some olive oil or whatever you have on hand. I think I'm also going to be doing some broccoli along with this. So I cut my chicken in half like I did in the beginning. So I have all of my chicken seasoned already and ready to go for any recipe that I want to do this week. So I add my chicken to the pan. So we're going to add, I forget how many pieces I ended up adding, but I needed a bunch for our meal tonight. And then I ended up cooking it at, I think it was like 400 degrees for about 25 minutes. And that seems to be perfect time. If you want, you could probably flip the chicken over halfway, but I don't. I just let it cook the way it is and we go with it. So I'm going to finish up here and then we're going to finish up this meal. And that's what we're going to have for supper tonight. All right, now we're going to move on to making some sloppy joes. So I needed 9 pounds of hamburger to make these sloppy joes because we are going to be having a birthday party for the twins. So this video is like late for you guys, but I needed to put these recipes together so that I could share them with you. So usually when you make sloppy joes, if you do just a pound, you would have a pound of hamburger per 1 can of tomato paste, and then you would have a packet of sloppy joe mix or seasoning, and then you would add your water, whatever it says on the back of the package. So for us, I needed, I think, like 9 packs of the seasoning packs, and then 9 cans, I think it did 9 or 10 cans of the tomato paste, and went with that. So I ended up just cooking it up quick and then adding it to our crock pot because I needed it done for the birthday party. All right, so I'm going to finish up here, but that's pretty much all you need to do for this recipe. If you end up getting one of the packs of Sloppy Joe seasoning packs, like from McCormick or anything like that, on the back of the package is usually what I go with. You can add anything to your sloppy joes. If you guys like to add some onions and peppers and all of that, go ahead and do that. I like to cook pretty basic, and we don't add any of that to our sloppy joes. So this is just how we do it. Let me know how you guys do it down in the comments. I would love to know and hear your recipe on sloppy joes. And we call it sloppy joes, and I know other people call it hot tamales. So let me know that also in the comments down below. If you guys missed out on my last grocery haul, I will link it down below and you guys can go check it out. I have a new option on my videos now too that I can share more products with you on some of the things that I've been getting at Walmart. So I'm going to start linking them in my videos. If you guys see some things pop up, that's just something new that I just discovered on my channel. So I'm going to start sharing a lot of that with you guys. So hopefully you guys like that. Instead of some of my 10 Kids in the Garage merch, I always have that below my videos, but we're going to change things up a little bit. So you guys will see that in my next videos now. But for today, I just wanted to share my meal plan. I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below how you guys like today's video. If you want me to continue to do videos like this, I'll add in more recipes every month, different ideas and things that maybe we will do, and different food products and stuff that we maybe find at different stores and maybe you guys didn't hear about yet. So I'm going to list all that down below. And some of my playlist is going to go down below if you guys missed out on some of the other videos that you haven't seen in the last couple months, I will leave that there. I like to have a whole playlist selection in my description also. I just cleaned up my description and I have it all laid out pretty nice now, so you guys can go and check and see how I have all that laid out. So go down there, check it all out. But otherwise, that's it for today's video. Let me know if you guys liked it. Otherwise, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.